Welcome to the Smooth Force Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Lamar, and I have the honor to introduce Shaquille Lawrence to the episode. How you doing, Shaquille?
Man, Lamar, how you feeling, man? Glad to be here. Appreciate you for having me.
Feeling good, feeling good. I'm glad you're on the podcast. I appreciate it. Uh, Shaquille is a certified personal trainer, a coach, a pro power lifter, an exercise science major, and owner of Feel to Fit Training. That's a lot right there. That's a lot. Let me first tell the audience, tell the viewers how I met Shaquille. This was in Texas, all right, at an event called Ebony Fit Weekend. And he was training and it was an open lift. And we eventually came to deadlifts. And everyone was, everyone, no, it may not have been the first day. Regardless, it was in Texas. And we're doing deadlifts. And 315s on the bar. People are deadlifting it. 4 or 5 on the bar. People are deadlifting it, but people start kind of easing back less. The line for people lifting is getting smaller. Then 495 comes up. Shaquille goes up there, crushes 495, no belt, no nothing, nice and smooth. So I'm like, okay, cool, good stuff. 585 comes up, still no belt. Shaq comes up, Shaquille comes up, crushes 585, and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is not normal. Then 675 comes up to the bar. 675, 675 pounds, and I wasn't lifting much that day, but I brought my weight belt, and I was looking at the video, and I was like, I think he used my weight belt for that 675. So let me just show. So I feel like I was part of the lift. I feel like, let me show you. I feel like I was part of the lift. So if you
Most
I feel like
definitely, yeah.
yeah, I feel like I'm part of the lift. He put up that 675 on the deadlift, and I was like, at that time I didn't have the podcast, but I was like, yeah, thinking back, I was like, yeah, I need him on a podcast. So that was how we met, leading, and let me lead that into this question right here, which is based on your posts. You have been winning powerlifting competitions since 2018. Is there a secret to your success, or is it just old fashioned hard work and dedication?
Man, Lamar, shout out to you for letting me use that belt, man, because I came right off the plane. Off the plane, I went straight to that event. So,
Hmm. Yeah,
you
no
know, it was
problem. Anytime, man. No problem.
um I would say it's pretty much just the old fashioned hard work and consistency. You know, you
Okay.
dedicate your time to what's important to you. So a lot of times with fitness, with working out in general, no matter what type of fitness you're doing, it's just, that time, putting in that time, energy, and that effort. You need that consistency just to keep you going, and eventually those results will happen. So every once in a while, powerlifting, because that's my main focus. You'll have a
Okay.
cycle where you're going harder. You might have like a 6 month, 16 week where you're going, heavy with the
Okay.
weight, low reps, and then you have that off time, and you just rotate that and over, 2 or 3, 5 years. Eventually those numbers just go up gradually, and
Hmm.
once
Nice.
you
Nice.
start getting into it, then you have your program, and you might do like an old fashioned 5x5, 5x3. But ultimately it's just a consistency like anything else.
So it's an old fashioned. You just train. You just train hard. You
Just
can't just skip steps. You just have to train hard to get to where you want to be.
yeah, no magic formula. Just get up, get out there, and just keep pushing yourself on the daily. Train
Hmm.
smart, train hard, and train towards your goal.
Nice. Nice. What are your top big three lifts? Your bench, squat, deadlift. Like what are those numbers, and how far do you want to go in body and powerlifting?
My big three officially for powerlifting is a 565 squat. All my numbers are raw, by the way, so no
Okay,
sleep
wow.
or anything like that. 565
Oh,
squat,
nice.
bench 457 um, pounds, and
Big
then
bench.
deadlift 700. Um,
what's your favorite of the three? I'm gonna assume it's gonna be deadlift, but I don't know. What would you say it is?
ironically, my favorite is bench. Bench is my
Oh, bench.
favorite. My
Okay.
favorite lift. Always been, probably always will. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my unofficial numbers, like in the gym, I've hit a 480. Um, I
Nice.
squat 590, and deadlifts would be. I don't want to disclose this, but since you had me, I've hit a 710. So I have a comp coming up where I'm
Wow.
hoping to hit somewhere between like a 720, 730. But
Nice. Nice.
official numbers. So favorite lift definitely
Big.
the bench.
Nice. 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 Good numbers. Very good
Okay.
numbers. You appear to be a well educated in methods to maximize performance. You incorporate different exercises in order to reach full potential. I saw you combine sumo deadlifts, RDOs, and good mornings to work out, which was geared towards a big 695-pound conventional deadlift. So my question is the additional prep necessary for great productivity, or is that just some additional accessory work you just enjoy doing?
I'm going to say it's necessary. Now, I will say, depending on your training style and your warm up style, you might not need to go as deep as involved as I do. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, when I'm talking about your posterior in general, your deadlifting, you're using your posterior chain a lot, no matter who you are into
Yes.
the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
everybody. Now,
Mm-hmm.
me, my hips tend to be a little bit more tight than maybe like the average person. Uh,
Okay.
so I like to activate my hips, my hip flexors, and also my glutes. You know, your glutes is your
Mm-hmm.
largest body part. It's pretty
Yes.
much the most involved body part in your deadlifts. And a lot of times it takes
Mm-hmm.
a while for us to, I'll say, wake up our glutes and get them activated in the lift.
Mm.
So when you're talking about powerlifting, you're one over at max. You pretty much you want to optimize all your major muscles into the
Okay.
compound lift and minimize the overexertion of your smaller muscles.
Mm.
So I'm always going to activate my glutes, all three parts, medius, maximus, minimus. Um, Help with my stabilization, my mobility, get my lower back involved, which is why I do the RDLs. A lot of times I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing bench, so then you'll see the sumos. That's going to help activate my glutes. Climb up, and I can pretty much tell from the warm up at this point. Let me take a couple steps here. Let me do an extra here. I might do some zoo squats. Let me open up the hip girdle here, up until I feel comfortable to lead up to
Mm-hmm.
those heavy loads.
Nice. Nice. It's clear. So anyone who is watching this podcast and who's looking for a trainer, I'm already going to endorse him because what he just how he broke down, how he just broke that down. Anyone looking for a trainer needs to hit him up. At the end of this episode, I'm going to give him an opportunity to say how you can contact him. But he just broke it down. He just put some science behind everything that he does. So that's big. That's big. Leading into something else that I found pretty interesting. Okay, I'm familiar with big back, big bench. Okay, in one of your posts titled "Back Hack," you gave yourself a back pump, which was pull-ups and lat pulls, prior to doing a heavy bench singles. Okay, so my question is, I know that the lats are engaged in the bench. So, and I'm curious, was there a reason why you wanted fatigue or let's say pump the back prior to doing heavy singles on the bench? Are you trying to take the lats away from the exercise to make it a more strenuous exercise, or is there another planned for why you did so?
So it's the opposite. So
Okay.
when I'm doing the bench hack, and I don't know if I incorporated shoulders in that specific post,
Okay.
but I want to activate my lats
Mm-hmm.
and my shoulders. So I don't
Okay.
want to fatigue them. I want to make sure I activate it. Reason being for the shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
your major muscles get more blood flow than your little muscles, your little
Okay.
ligaments.
Mm-hmm.
So I do shoulder raises, nothing crazy, just enough to activate it. Might do 3 sets of 15, 3 sets of 20
Okay.
with a lightweight. I pretty much never go heavier than 10 pounds on the dumbbells,
Okay. Okay.
just to get them
Wow.
active. Now with the
Mm-hmm.
lats specifically, I'll do my pull ups and lat pull downs. I want to engage my scapula, which is, and I do that by the wide grip lat pull downs and the pull
Mm-hmm.
ups. You have
Okay.
to find a balance between not fatiguing your muscles, but just getting that pump.
Got you.
Your
Got you.
lats, they're like the anchor. So I feel like they're underutilized in the bench press, especially for heavy loads. But your lats is
Mm-hmm.
actually your stabilization on
Okay.
when you're laying on the bench. So
Mm-hmm.
if you ever try to bench heavy and you're coming up or you're sliding or one's coming up, you know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
typically your lats aren't involved enough or they're not strong enough to support the weight.
Okay.
So when
Okay.
I'm activating it, they're fired up. Um, it's helped me with my stabilization, right? So when I'm coming down, I have my mid and upper back on that come up on the push phase of the bench, along with your triceps. That's
Okay.
pretty much all your lats. This is why you want to keep your elbows tucked in and have it
Mm-hmm.
all pushed. It's going to be like a band, like a rubber band. You want to spring yourself up. So with your lats
Nice.
involved, it helps you retract your scapula, as well as it protects your shoulders,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is
Okay.
another major part of a bench. Is you have to protect your shoulders, and
Oh, definitely.
you maintain that
Definitely.
foundation for those heavy loads. Also, for powerlifting, you have to pause. You have to pause the weight, so it's not like you can just bounce it and come up. You want
Yes.
to have all that retracted during that pause. On that command of a press comes up,
Mm-hmm.
everything's engaged already, and you're coming up.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I never heard that. As I mentioned, I heard big back, big bench, where on back day, uh, the power lifter trains back heavily, and then then he has his bench day, he trains, and then they just come together, but it's different days. I never heard the same day, but it makes sense. What you said definitely makes sense. I think I'm gonna try that. I'm trying to incorporate that just to see how it feels. But I understand what you're saying. It definitely makes sense. And with that said, I'm assuming you arch in when you bench. Do you utilize the arch to really get
Slight
the
arch.
lats
I don't do the,
engaged?
the whole typical powerlifting arch. Uh, I just do like just a natural arch. Nothing crazy. I just do a natural arch. I don't. There's personal reasons. I'm not against the arts for everyone listening.
Okay.
I'm not against it. You have to do what you have to do competition wise to give you the best edge. Personally, I don't like doing the extra arch. So I never started that way. I don't train that way. I'm not against. I'm not saying I never will train that way. But as of this, arch. I just get enough just to get my shoulders touching that bench nice and secure, and then that's what I do. And leg drive is also important too. I make sure my legs are
Hmm.
steady so I can engage.
Nice, nice. That sounds good. That sounds good. A couple of my guests mentioned how fitness saved their life. One person literally. Uh, you're the first one where fitness almost took yours. So you know, so I'm directing this to that 405 no spot free bench press that went a little bit south. Uh, can you talk about that? What happened there?
Man, let me tell you about that moment. So I'm prepping for a comp and I'm doing 5x1s. I'm on my
Okay.
last set. Muscles fatigue.
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? I know I'm tired, but matter of fact, I actually got you. I can actually gotta flip the camera. I can show you. So I'm on my last set, and this is normally where I bench within the cage right here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was on another rack. I feel like weight over. So here,
Mm-hmm.
walking back right, and there's no racks, there's no pins. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Last one, I know I got it. What happens is
Okay.
I'm on
Okay.
lifting weight and don't have it. So I'm coming down on the chest,
Mm-hmm.
coming up. Now you see these pins right here. They're closer than the
Yeah, I see.
regular bench. So I'm like,
Okay.
you know what? I can get it at least to one of these and just
Okay. and just
swivel all up
re-rack it.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yep. It got caught, so that's why I didn't roll it down. So I was like, let me
Mm,
just put it up a little bit. It racked it on the right side, it didn't rack it on the left.
mm,
Pretty much everyone that saw the
yeah.
video, you know what happened. Boom, gets caught, chair slides, weight falls. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Still
Yeah.
like 2 seconds, it's on my neck. I have to transition over here. Try to just keep the weight off the carotid so that way I can still have some
Mm,
type of blood flow. But yeah,
mm.
that's what happened. Pretty much just not training smart. I should have just lowered the weight, transitioned the weight to the other power cage, set the pins up. So many things I could have did,
Okay.
but
Okay.
that's what happened on that.
Well, first of all, it was a lot of weight. 405 pounds is a lot of weight. So, but you said it was your fifth set of singles, and
Right.
I know you probably enter that set like, yeah, I got this, and that's the attitude to have. I try to do the same thing. I try like, yeah, I got this set, and sometimes you have to kind of psych yourself out mentally as a lifter, because if you put doubt in your head, that then it just normally doesn't really go. It's not in your favor. So I get what you're saying. Like, I understand exactly how that happened. That happened to me, something similar. It wasn't a heavy lift. It was just complete fatigue of the triceps, and I had to roll it off for me. But yeah. So I'm glad you made it, because that's a big weight. That's a big weight. Now let me ask you this: Is that going to change your style of lifting, or is just
Uh,
a freak accident and you're still doing it?
Definitely won't change my style lifting whatsoever. That video,
Okay.
thing when I first uploaded it, it was 2022. Um,
Okay.
I It's 2023 now. I put in the caption of the video when it actually happened. I didn't
Okay.
actually I didn't actually that video happened 2021, I think of March or June. I posted it almost a couple months later. So I
Mm,
definitely still lift the same, just be a little bit smarter. Same thing, I'll just have the power cage set up. Uh like I said, from that moment, from then to now, I'm now benching 485. The goal is
mm-hmm.
500. So, you just got to keep that mentality. And that's the Warriors mentality, the Mamba mentality, the champion mentality.
Yeah.
Like, stuff is going to happen in
Yes.
training. You're going to get injured along the way. Hopefully not, but sometimes injuries happen.
It's part of
Setbacks
the
happen.
game. You're
Training
right.
isn't always linear. Training's not always linear. So, it
Mm-hmm.
might be a setback here. It might be a plateau here. You have to switch something up, maybe bulk a little bit. All that stuff plays a factor. Ultimately, you just got to trust the process, keep going, and eventually, you get those PRs.
We should go. Well said. Well said. Uh, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, talk to me about that experience, and just you as a trainer and so on. As I mentioned earlier, I can tell you're very knowledgeable in fitness. And I want anyone who's interested, who's in your area, who may hear this podcast, to be like, you know what, Shaquille Lawrence, I think he knows what he's talking about. I need a trainer. So anyone interested in reaching out to you, how would they contact you?
Real simple. You can hit me on IG at 900LB. It's my personal IG. Real responsive on there. If you go on there, all my contact info's on there. All right. Phone number, email. I have another page, a business page at Fuel to Fit Training. You can also reach me on there as well. Again, at Fuel to Fit Training, at Fuel to Fit Training at gmail.com. Just hit my phone number,
Perfect.
which is on those platforms as well. Real accessible, nothing crazy.
Perfect. Perfect. Shaquille, I appreciate speaking to you. I appreciate you being on the podcast. We'll definitely speak again. And I'm looking forward to seeing hit some big PRs, some more PRs. You have a competition coming up soon, or you're coasting
Yeah,
right now?
let's make it happen. November 12th, I have a little tune up RPS meet in
Okay.
Newark just to get back in the mindset. Uh,
Okay.
RPS Federation. April, I have the USPA, which I'll use as a qualifier for nationals, and then summer will actually
Nice.
be nationals. So those are my only three I'm doing this year.
Okay.
Or the only three I have planned, I should say. And then
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. So we're prepping for that, cutting down the weight, getting down to 198, and just enjoying the process, taking every challenge that comes, and you know, pleasure's mine. And thanks, Lamar.
Sounds
All right,
good.
bro.
Well, Shaquille, keep doing your thing. As I mentioned, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and we'll definitely speak again. All right.